I've never really believed in the supernatural. Not truly. I've always figured there's a logical explanation for everything. But this one memory, it stayed with me like a splinter under the skin, too deep to pull out, too sharp to forget. It was summer, and the heat had that sticky, humming quality that made the air feel like it was buzzing. I was about 9 or 10, wandering the alley behind my aunt's duplex. We'd gone to visit for the week, and while the grown-ups were inside watching some loud game show, I snuck out to poke around the junk heap where all the broken bikes and plastic toys went to die. I remember picking up a cracked tennis racket when I heard it, a soft jingling sound, like keys or bells. I looked up, expecting maybe a neighbor walking their dog, but instead, walking right through the open gate at the far end of the alley, was a figure I've never been able to explain. It was a woman, at least, I think it was a woman. Tall, far too tall, and thin in the way wire is thin. She wore a tattered wedding dress, the kind with a veil that dragged behind her like smoke. But it wasn't white. It was the color of dried out leaves, yellowed and stained, and it fluttered even though there was no wind. She had no shoes on. I remember that vividly because her feet made no sound. Not a single crunch or scuff on the gravel. Just the constant, delicate jing-jing-jing from the tiny bells sewn into her sleeves and hem. I froze, completely. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move, like I'd been rooted to the spot. She walked with this slow, deliberate sway, arms limp at her sides, and when she passed by me, maybe 5 feet away, she turned her head just slightly. I couldn't see her face under the veil, just a blackness where it should have been, not shadows. Just nothing. And then she stepped into the shed. Not opened the door, through it, like fog seeping through wood. It broke the spell. I ran inside, screaming, knocking over a lamp and nearly tripping over my cousin. When I finally got the words out, breathless and shaking, no one believed me. My uncle even laughed, said I'd fallen asleep in the heat and had a sweat dream. But later that night, my cousin came up to me and said he believed me. He said years ago, when he was little, he saw something in that same alley. A tall woman in a dirty dress with bells on her arms. She didn't say anything then either, just stood at the edge of the lot and watched him until he ran away. He never told anyone until I did. I don't know what we saw. I don't know if I even want to know. But sometimes, when I hear keys jingle or bells rattle lightly, like in a store or on a bike, it all comes back, sharp and clear. The veil, the silence, the way she moved like a broken metronome. And I wonder if anyone ever opened that shed again.